All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 8:53. It's November 29th. It's Friday. Usually no 6:30 clubs on a Friday, but I figured it's the end of the week. We've had a great week. We've been managing positions. We've been rotating through various sectors and doing everything we could do to try and, make some money on this holiday week while we enjoy our friends, family, and hopefully, hopefully everyone had a great Thanksgiving. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. And here we are on a Friday. Again, hopefully you're not feeling too full, that you did a little fitness, you did a little few things to get rid of the guilt of the extra serving of mashed potatoes or stuffing, or maybe you just don't ever feel guilt. I know for me, I like to do extra workouts on that Thursday morning, so this way could eat and drink and be merry and enjoy. But anyway, at this particular point, here we are. This is your chart of the SPYs. SPYs are following its course here. You can't be so upset, right? You had a nice little move where, first of all, if you remember 2 weeks ago, we held this 585 area, and all of a sudden now digesting above the 8-day and looking pretty solid. Each day this week was kind of different. You had one day was mega cap tech, one day was small caps, blah 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 blah, as we've rotated through. And as of right now, it seems like the futures are coming off a little bit. As the SPYs are up almost 2, and now they're up 70 cents. So we're still within this range. Be a little careful. Next week tends to be a little bit of a softer week because they do everything they can to get Thanksgiving week positive. So don't go in with the guns blazing or whatever. But at this point, we'll see. The Qs continue to lag. The Qs are barely holding on to the 8 and 21 day. Mega cap tech is still very challenged. It's very specific. I feel like out of the Mag 7 names, I've really avoided them. There's been a lot of other much better things to do. There's been some trades, but anyway, we'll get to it. So I would say if as long as like the Qs and the semis aren't a headwind, other things could react and trade well. If all of a sudden they start rolling over and breaking levels, like we saw a little bit with the SMHs on Wednesday, then it's hard to ignore, and then everything else kind of starts to trigger some sell programs. So anyway, now see if the Qs hold 501.84. If you look real quickly, the semiconductors, a lot of technicians out there are all talking about the head and shoulders top, the big distribution pattern, and how the semis have been lagging. But they've been lagging, but they haven't really been a headwind. But on Wednesday, we broke this 237 area, and then finally in the afternoon, things rallied back a bunch. So it took some pressure off. Maybe they knew that there's some news out there that the China restrictions on AI chips are a little less. So that is why NVIDIA came off those lows. Some people are like, well, what happened to NVIDIA? What happened? Well, if you look technically into earnings, okay, it did a red dog reversal. What's a red dog reversal? It traded above this 149.76 and then basically failed. That's a sell signal. From there, look at this, 4 down days. First, it came in, gave you an inside day, then it broke 140. And then on Wednesday, what I did is I started buying the 135 calls for next week, saying, hey, I don't want to just try and catch a falling knife, even though it's NVIDIA and NVIDIA has to be awesome. So I started buying the 135 calls. So this is the alpha team. This is where my traders hang out all day with me, and we trade and we try and make money. We live life together. So I did buy into that move. First time in a while, I bought some NVIDIA. Where is it? The NVIDIA 135s. So we'll see what happens here today with NVIDIA. It's already off the highs. It was up $2. NVIDIA right now is up $1.20. So we'll see if it holds. It looked a little better before. I was like, look at that. I'm going to probably make 50% of my options. And I just got back involved. But anyway, so we'll see how it goes. 137.20 is Wednesday's high. And then there's a boatload of resistance here. They do have an event next week. I think it's on the 3rd. That was one of the reasons why I was buying it for next week. So we'll see how that goes. Really where I've been really active has been, Bitcoin, some of the miners and MSTR. It's been unbelievable. Very, very clean trades. Very, very clean. If you look at the IBIT on Wednesday, I was buying a ton of that. Remember, I sold into strength. I bought a little bit. I'm the biggest I've been in a while, but I'm also not getting too big, leaving room just in case it wants to get to the 21 day. Well, it never did. And then on Wednesday, it was great. Wednesday gapped up and went as high as 55.49. I trimmed some. So, and here we are up a bit again today. So I'm back in tier 1. I don't have my overlay, and we'll see. Remember when we did the turkey trot, I was like, we are going to see 85,000 by Thanksgiving. I wasn't talking 100,000. But again, if you're in the move, it doesn't really matter. You can be pleasantly surprised. So anyway, then you had Mr., which guys are making, tons of money on both ways. Some people changed their lives and like fully scored with the way this moved from the turkey trot to Bitcoin 85,000. You could have taken Mr. and look at that move. And then if you remember, I kind of called the top that day. Remember SMST and some of the shorts. We started to buy those things on the day of reverse. So here you had, it opened above and failed to hold it. So if you were long, that was your way out after a big move. And then look at the size of this candle. That's a basic bearish candle saying, hey, bull step back, and then you had some, a little bit of a bounce back that didn't take that back half, and then you had a red, then it started to roll over. And then if you do remember also, I was like, hey guys, I'm going to be selling puts into 340 and look for a way to buy options because I think it holds a 21 day, and then about gapped up on Wednesday, and today it's up another 17, and we were making a lot of money there. I actually bought MSTU. So if you look here, MSTU, it's up $15. I've sold some and I'm holding some. So anyway, there's lots of ways to slice things, but you have to be able to know why you're doing it and have comfort because these things move. And when they move at certain areas, you better be able to react and trade them. So I got 10 people coming in here. Let me say hello to my dogs around the world. I love my friends, that I go through. Twitter's great. Listen, some people hate Twitter. I love it because I have friends and like-minded individuals around the world that we share information and we try and help each other grow. That's what we do, create the right mindset so you could then execute the X's and O's. And here we got Qualcomm. I haven't really even looked at Qualcomm. I know all they do is sell strength there. Got Sully saying good morning. We got Claudia. What's up? What's up? Happy holidays to you. What's up, North Dakota? We got Mario in the house. What up? What up? Many blue sky. There you go. How's Cisco treating you? I'm as good as it gets. Thanks. I just work hard. I'm not that talented. Most people out there don't like to work hard. They don't have a process and a routine. And that's what I try and teach you guys for any career, not just trading. You win the morning, you win the day. Yes, that's true. That is true. So anyway, so at this point, we'll see right now, Mister's trying to open up above 403. If it does, it's got some room up here. I sold puts. I actually sold some calls and making some decent money in the overnight in MSTU. Some guys like Red Dog, I thought you were a pedigree, trader. Why are you an AMC? I'm like, well, first of all, there are some times you could be in any name. Technicals are technicals. And to me, I know the CEO came out with news earlier in the week saying that their viewership or whatever it was last weekend was the best since the pandemic. And I know they've raised a gazillion dollars with ATMs going across since then. And I'm like, hey, this is a nice little channel. So I started buying it in the 480s. Not because I'm an ape, not because, just because technically it looked better. And I have a feeling this weekend there's going to be a lot of people going to the movies. So maybe there'll be some better results on Monday and you get a bigger move. So that's why I'm in this. I also went with GME also. Yes, Red Dog was in GME. And it didn't give you a Mimi type move, but nice trend move above the 8-day. Anything could do it. So anyway, I was in both. I'm out of GME, but I'm still in AMC. Besides other things. Now back to Mag 7. Amazon did pretty well. Okay, I'm in it overnight. I trimmed a little bit up $1.50. I'm holding some as long as it holds this 205 area. I'm going to stay with it. All in all, remember the Red Dog reversal sell. It held this area, so it looks pretty. It still looks pretty good. I didn't have quite the move in Tesla that I was expecting this week, but it happens. That's why you have multiple plans. I remember we came in on Monday and they sold strength, and this candle basically said, "Hey, now Tesla needs to rebuild. It's not as exciting as it was, but it's still fine." And now we see, kind of went into the gap, which was 330, came back above it. Tesla's up 340 today. I actually don't have any exposure to Tesla right now. I had a lot of it, and I kind of adjusted the whole thing. And now I'm going to figure out what I want to do, for the next week or so moving forward. Do I want to buy some 360 calls just in case some news comes out of some autonomous driving or whatever? I don't know exactly what I want to do here. All I know is it's been very, very noisy. I haven't traded as much as I traded it during this move. Even this move, remember the bull flag, that was great. And then they sold the strength. They didn't buy the strength. There was no momentum. They sold it. Anyway, it's fine. Have I looked at coin? I have looked at coin. Coin's been tricky. Coin's still building. You had a big move. And I would say as long as coin holds this area, it looks good. Some guys were telling me about, remember we made a lot of money in the beginning portion of this crypto move with some of the miners. CORZ was one of them. Okay, we started buying it here. I had an open house for the Alpha team, and right here we were buying CORZ, and I think I got away from it somewhere around here. Still looks good. And then also the Wolf, we call it. I was buying it here, and I sold most. I think I even got the top almost, and now it's rebuilding. Somebody sent me that Druckenmiller, who's probably one of the best investors out there, who had a filing in this, doubled his stake. He didn't sell this move; he doubled his stake. So to me, that interests me. That if he's still buying it, and if we think Bitcoin's going to be 125,000 next year, there could be another move here. You go to the weekly chart of the Wolf, and you'll see that this thing was, look at the size of this move way back then. Obviously, it's a different time, different world. But if Druckenmiller's doubling his stake, Red Dog could add to his as well. So I think this is something you could pay a little bit more attention to. Maybe go out and buy options for the first quarter of next year or whatever you want to do it. But this was the first target, 8-9, and happened, and now it's rebuilding. And hey, who knows? Maybe it can go higher. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, Meta. Well, Meta is just not acting well. Meta is just taking its time. It's not where the action is. So I am not over trading Meta. There's also some news out there that they made some rules in Europe about social media. You can't be on it until you're 16 or something. I don't know if that's going to, affect it emotionally or not. But if you're in Meta, you got to be in verse 550. And then maybe at some point it fills this void here back to there. I know I'll be buying it above 603 when it happens, but it might not happen for months. So I've just been avoiding it. The only two that I've really been in, I've been in Apple. Apple's been working well. Every time it dips, I've been buying options. It's been, working higher. This morning it's down a little bit, right? Where's Apple? It's down only 24 cents. I would think that at some point coming through Christmas, this is going to be taking out this 237. So I have the 240 calls on for December 20th. And today I might even put on some stock. And there we have it. It's 9:05. I appreciate you guys, my dogs around the world. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving. Getting ready for a shortened day today. I do think we did a hell of a job buying the dip in Bitcoin on Tuesday-ish. Wasn't easy. Also trading around MSTR, and then doing a little bit of everything else. I know guys are still riding the trend in Dash. Looks good. Above the 8-21 day. I do think this will be 250 next year. We'll make a lot of money, I think, approaching that one. Reddit shook the tree a little bit, but I think as long as it holds 132-ish, I feel like, you can be long versus that. I thought maybe it would hit the 21 days, so I got a little conservative, but I also think there's higher prices for that. Before I end, so people like, what about these little nuclear names? So the reason why I got away from them a little bit is I couldn't believe NNE had 3 money raises. So this NNE, which was really good to us, caught people by surprise again, okay, with another money raise. That's 3. Obviously they need money for their reactors and whatever it is. I'm not going to pretend that I know fundamentally what the hell they're really doing. Bottom line is, so if they had to raise money 3 times, OKLO hasn't raised money once. So I don't want to be in it when all of a sudden they do a big money raise after a big strong day, which is what usually happens. So we caught this move really well. I even made money in this range. If you think they have enough money and they're not going to do it and there's another push here, I would just say go out and buy some, $28, $30 calls for like, February or March, and then at some point this group gets back in play again. But and it's still consolidating well. I just, it's not as active and there's no momentum, so there's no need to be super duper active there. So sometimes you have a go-to list and things move up and down it. You have the A list, the B list, and the C list. Right now, this is kind of on the C list on the side, where mostly crypto and the miners are on the A list, and most of the Mag 7 names are on the B list. And that's what you only have so much real estate on your screen. So you got to make sure, you want the A-listers up top, and the A-list changes at times. So anyway, good luck today. I appreciate you. And I'm sure I'll check in here and there. Just remember, close at 1 o'clock today.